Welcome back to Studio Life, everybody. Today, we're back with a new plugin from Mixwave. They're back again. Mixwave have just released the DW Fearn VT7. Let's find out. Is it? Mixwave, they do some pretty cool stuff, and they're back with a modelled version of DW Fearn's VT7. What is the VT7? Well, it's a pricey bit of hardware. It's a compressor. DW Fearn is an old school engineer who has a fantastic business manufacturing hardware to the very highest specs. And the VT7 is a very highly regarded compressor. It was designed for a multitude of uses, but it's ended up as either a mix bus or a mastering compressor. That's why most people choose to buy them these days. They're not cheap. I think the hardware in the UK, you're looking at $6,500–7,000, so sort of $10,000 kind of money. Very pricey, but they're built to a specification, not to a price. So he just wants them to be the best. So they cost what they cost. Mixwave have modelled one. So this should be interesting, right? So what is it compressor-wise? What are we looking at here? It's a Class A tube compressor. That's nothing new, but it uses pulse width modulation for controlling the compression, which is kind of rare. You don't see many pulse width modulation compressors out there. What are the characteristics you will find? Well, generally, extreme transparency. And that's where this excels. You'll hear in the demo at the end, it's really hard to hear when it is working. You can be getting a hell of a lot of compression, and there's kind of no artifacts. It narrows the dynamic range very effectively, but it's really hard to hear it working. So that's great. For mastering, you want transparent stuff. That's what you want. You don't want to be adding colour unless you really want to. It doesn't want to be a byproduct of compression. You want nice and clean compression. The same on the tube bus. Sometimes you want a bit of colour there, but you can do that with something else. This is an incredibly transparent compressor. It's been making me laugh this morning. I went and had a look on Gearspace to see what people thought of it. And some people sort of don't get it. A few people have been saying, oh, wow, you know, as soon as I insert it on my mix, you know, you can hear the tone, just sounds better. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't add like anything really in the way of box tone. I think some people get confused when they put plugins in Plugin Doctor. If you look at this on the linear analysis tool, it looks like there's a big bump down the bottom end. That's because it's a linear analysis tool. This needs to be looked at in the Hammerstein thing, where you can see that it's pretty much flat. You can also see the harmonics it adds. It is adding harmonics, so it is adding something, but it's quite hard to hear it. It's not in your face. It's subtle. Anyway, let's have a look at it. As you can see, it's bright red. Don't mind a bit of bright red. My SPL iron is bright red. I like it. So two big VU meters or gain reduction meters in the middle there. You can flip between one and the other. The on-off light in the middle there, that is also your bypass, so that's useful. Click on that, bypasses. In the middle down the bottom here, you have got where you choose whether it's linked, whether it's got a linked high-pass filter, or whether they're separate. That's handy. Over on the left, you have your threshold control. Below that, you have your gain control. We then have the standard attack and release controls. And underneath that, it says this knob where it says harder to the left, softer to the right. This needs experimenting with to understand it. It's kind of like a knee control, but it also acts a little bit like a ratio control. It's kind of a cross between the two. Harder doesn't necessarily give you more obvious compression. Sometimes softer does. It depends on what you're putting through it. You got to experiment. It's a really interesting control. It's kind of a big part of the sound of this compressor. Which, even when I say that, it makes me think, it hasn't really got a sound. But you'll see what I mean. It can just react differently, and that is the main control for getting it to react differently. Left and right channels look the same. They can be separate if you want. So, yeah, you've got everything mirrored on the right. Up the top here, we have input meters, and at the other end, we have output meters. All the way on the left, we've got an input control. All the way on the right, the output control. We've then got filters, high pass and low pass for the input. Same again over here for the output. We have a mono link. You can link the two sides, or you can run them independently if you wish. We've got oversampling. We've got, you know, the gear thing where you can set up all kinds of different things like screen size, default size. That's quite nice. Pick a size, set it as a default. Bunch of presets in there. And that's about it. You'll see from the demo, I had to drive the input a lot because I wanted to hear it. And it is so transparent, you sort of can't. But it does do a really, really nice thing on the mix bus. It's kind of built for that. As long as you're not looking for that obvious glue sound, this is really nice. I can think of a lot of instances where I don't want that gluey sound because it's become synonymous with pop records, I guess. And sometimes you're doing something where you just want to narrow the dynamic range, but you don't want to hear it doing that. That's what you'd use this for. Let's talk about demo Mixwave. So it's a full 14 days. Can't argue with that. Price-wise, the normal price, $189. It's a little bit pokey, I think. I mean, obviously the hardware is incredibly expensive, so I guess if you look at it like that, you could look at it as a bargain. In the sale right now, because it's new, it's $139. Yeah, I think that's just, for me, it's just a little bit much. But hey, you know, maybe that's just me. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very excited about it. I'll tell you who it's not for. It's not for the people looking for the next big colour box, the next thing they can put on their drums to crunch them up or to give it a sound. It just doesn't do that. It's a very, very transparent compressor. I must have said it 20 times now. You must be getting the point by now. Star rating. I'm going to go 4 stars, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think it would have been so nice to have mid-side on it. Someone did ask Mixwave the question, and they basically said, you know, if the original manufacturer wants mid-side, they'd add it, but you know, this is just a faithful reproduction of the original hardware, so fair enough. But I do think it would have sort of doubled its usefulness to have this running in mid-side. Obviously, you could do that using other plugins, but still, would have been nice for it to be there natively. But yeah, 4 stars. The Mixwave DW Fearn VT7, a beautiful transparent compressor. You'll know whether you'll need it or not. Do you want something that's completely going to do its job incredibly well and not give any kind of a sound, or do you want a sound? Because they're two different things, and this is the one that doesn't really have a sound. That's 21 times, I think. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, that's that. If you could like the video, that really helps. If you could subscribe to the channel, that helps even more. There's an Instagram, which is Mixdown Mastering. Come and have a look to what I get up to a week. There's also the website, Studio Life, where you've got the top 5 plugins. And there's also all about the different courses I do on mixing and mastering and a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, demos coming up. I'll see you next time. Adios.